What's up guys, this is Andrew Frezza and Melissa Dixon from Care Coach Lead, and today's video we're going to teach you guys how to coach rope climbs with our two favorite drills. So both of these drills are awesome in the fact that they can be utilized in a warm-up setting, in a class or personal training setting, or they can be used as a modification during the workout when the majority of class, hopefully the majority of class, is good enough to do the real rope climbs. These are skills and drills that you can use as substitutes to the rope climb and allow your athletes to get a great workout that day, but also work on the foundational pieces that they need to eventually get their rope climbs. Okay, so we're gonna start with this short rope assisted pull-up, and this is the best way that I found to practice the clamp. So we've done it here in the gym before where we get out boxes and you can sit on a box and do some clamp practice, and you don't have to worry about climbing the rope, you can just work on your footwork. But what's missing for me in that drill is that you don't have the same feedback from gravity that you would normally have on the rope, that you would need to really feel and get those nuances of your J hook or heel hook to get really good at that clamp, okay? So with this one, because we have kind of our normal setup and we have these amazing short ropes, it allows us to practice the footwork. Also, because we're not having to hang on a rope, a pull-up bar is much easier to hang on to. It takes some of the necessary grip strength away that we need to be able to just focus on our clamp and our footwork. All right, so what Melissa's gonna do, she's gonna grab just her normal pull-up width and she's gonna work on her footwork clamping, and then once she gets her clamp, she can stand up through and do a pull-up that's basically assisted. So if she wants to test her clamp, she can do multiple reps and not slip through the rope. If she wants to work more on footwork, she can clamp, stand up, and then each time she comes down, reset completely, reclamp the rope, and then stand up again. Okay, so there's a couple approaches that you can take depending on where an athlete's struggling. If that athlete, again, is struggling to get their clamp down, make them do more repetitions. But if there's someone that every time they clamp, they slide through the rope, then you can make them do more of the pull-ups so they're gauging how strong that clamp really is.
Yeah, and I think it's important to note that this is someone who has the prerequisite grip strength, that if I know that my athlete can hang, because I've seen them do knees to chest or toes to bar, and they have their skills, they just don't have the practice of the J hook, that's really who we're talking about here. If it's someone who can't hang, I'm giving them the rope lowers that we always see in other gyms. You know, I'm giving them more grip work and more pulling strength work in that.
Yeah, we're always assessing as coaches as what is the limiting factor for our athlete, what is the low-hanging fruit to get them to improve, and if they're not able to hang for just a few seconds, then it's probably not the best place for us to spend our time and energy yet. There's many ways for us to get them stronger in that sense. So let's say this looks pretty good, and we want to get someone to move over to the rope. So this person, again, has the ability to hang, they have the ability to clamp really well. The next really big skill that they're gonna need is to be able to gain significant amount of ground every time they re-clamp, okay? So we usually refer to this as pulls, even though it's technically not pulls. And in a 15-foot rope climb, ideally, most athletes can do it in 2 to 3 pulls, right? So someone like Melissa or myself, I'm not tall for a guy, but she's taller for a female, about 5'9". We should be able to do it in 2 pulls if we get our technique dialed in. Someone a little shorter than us, we'll give them 3 pulls, but anybody that's doing their clamps effectively should be under 3 pulls, okay? So what she's gonna do is a rope knees to elbow, and with this, she's gonna set herself with a slight bend at the elbows, right? So the arms are almost straight, but a little bend in the elbow. If you guys know ski erg technique, almost that identical ski erg technique. What's that allowing us to do? It's allowing us to engage the lats, and it's gonna allow us to bring the core to, activate the core, use the core to bring the knees to the elbow, all right? So she's gonna show us some knees to elbow. Good, do one more. Good. So what you should notice on her when she does that, the elbow, whatever bend she sets it at, that bend is basically maintained. She's not pulling anymore, but she's not losing it either. She's keeping it there. So the elbow and the lats are basically staying engaged while the core does the rest of the work. Do one more, show that. There. Also, what a common fault we're gonna see when we do this in a bigger group environment is people are gonna jump into it. They're gonna use more of those legs to create momentum, and you almost want them to like get close to a dead hang so they are in fact leaning back and using the core to bring those knees up each time, okay? So if someone can do that, now all we need to do is get them to be able to clamp in that position and stand up the same way we did here, and they're gonna gain so much ground on every single pull, every single reclamp, and likely be able to do it in 2 to 3 pulls.
Yeah, this is definitely a great drill for someone who you see doing more of like an inchworm up the rope, or someone who pulls their knuckles to their chest to get that rope climb. A lot of people complain after rope climb day of like bicep tendonitis, like my biceps are blown up. And that means they're doing any type of pulling when they should be clamping and standing to push that rope down. So it's a good, drill for them to be able to keep that hang and make sure that they get that distance with their lower body, and not because they're pulling to their chest and then setting their feet from a small range of motion.
Yeah, the more you pull down, the less room you have to bring those knees up. So you actually want to actually keep distance from the rope, so you have all that space to bring those knees up, because that is that distance that you need to cover on each and every rep. So that's it, guys. 2 simple drills. If you don't yet have these short ropes yet and you have rope climbs in your gym, get these. These are a simple way to add more stations so you're not bottlenecked because of ropes if you're limited on space and equipment. Super cheap and easy way to give you more options in your class settings. So I hope you guys found this video helpful. If you have any questions or comments, leave them below, and we'll see you in the next video.